going to have 2 layers. This is always going to start the exact same way as you started your polo wrap. Same concept. Again, if we're looking at this as a left rear leg, your wrap is going to start right there in the groove. So you're just going to sort of lay it in there. Roll it, and you can see I'm kind of snugging it. I'm not just rolling it. Oh, thank you. It's painful, isn't it? Thank you. So you kind of snug your wrap up around there. You can get a bit tighter with these because the whole idea is that this is a compression wrap, that you've got this foam here. Every horse is different and your sizes are going to be different, but you want this ideally to end up in a similar spot in that groove. So if you start groove to groove, your wraps are always going to end up roughly right. Make sense? So the tricky part with these is that I kind of catch that underneath. Same thing, about halfway to 3/4 of the way up. Catch that with my first one. Come around, and now I've got it. So now I've caught my whole thing. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to start spiraling down, keeping smooth, even pressure, and ideally spiraling about the same distance every time. This one you can do a little bit less. It doesn't have to be half. You'll get way too many rolls out. You always want to leave a tad of your white on either end. You don't want to create where you've got a tourniquet going up. So again, I've cupped underneath and now I'm starting my spiral back up. Gosh, I have never realized how hard this is to do on a non-horse.
That's why we're all in awe of you doing wonderful. And it's up off the ground.
Yeah, it is. I'm used to being kneeled down in the dirt. Okay, so again, I'm getting my little thing where I've lost my evenness here, which makes me unhappy, but for the purpose of time, we'll just kind of call this good. So this one is a little bit more compression. It's a little bit tighter. The more pillow you have underneath, the tighter you can get your support wrap over the top. What that's going to do is it's going to give nice compression, but if the leg starts to swell, the leg will be able to swell. It will compress the foam or the pillow or the little batting that's inside the pillow wraps before it will act like a tourniquet. A lot of people on these kind of wraps, because they are left on overnight quite frequently, will put electrical tape around them, because a lot of horses will catch this on stuff where the shavings will get in it and it'll quit working, or they take them off each other. There are 2 schools of thought on the electrical tape issue. A, don't ever use duct tape, please. There's good things for duct tape all over the place, but I think duct tape around a wrap is just a disaster. Because it's too thick and those little strings in there are too likely to break apart and cause a tourniquet action. Electrical tape is like stretchy, it gives, which is why everybody uses it. So, some people will do the electrical tape right over the wrap, or right over the Velcro rather, and they'll do it exactly over itself, which is okay if you're there all the time, you're watching that leg. But again, anything that is a small surface area in this distance from here to here can act as a tourniquet. So if that leg were to swell tremendously, that starts to compress in that one tiny little area. My preference and my recommendation is, I think that the electrical tape works great, but I spiral it. So if you're going to do it over the Velcro to keep it going, just do a little spiral and then cut it off or tear it there, so that you don't have there's somewhere. So you don't have a tourniquet effect ever on your bandage. So it doesn't look as pretty, but it's a lot better for your horse if there is some swelling.